Right, well, this is Simon Ward. Good afternoon. I'm here with the Brownlee boys. Unfortunately, we've had to transplant Yorkshire into East London today, lads.
Yeah, it's not as good as Yorkshire, but it'll do.
It's tough in Yorkshire though, isn't it? Training in the cold.
Can be, yeah. It's a bit warm down here. Tropical. I've got my arms out in November.
Well, I was walking across that pitch and I had to pinch myself, remind myself that it was today, November the 1st.
Incredible.
But that's
pinch
now.
And punch first of all.
Yeah, no return back. Oh. But you know what? When I was young, we used to train in this in a shorts and a vest.
Yeah, me too, yeah. I never wear long sleeved t-shirts till I was about 15, I don't think.
What about you, Johnny?
I used to just man up and go in my shorts and vest as well. I loved it.
Yeah.
Occasional gloves on, but
that's now. My dad used to make me sleep outside when it was this cold.
Well, I never even slept. I was just training all night.
Were you? What about you?
Non-stop, never slept, never trained, just do what I like. Used to, run barefooted, everything.
Barefoot? That's now. What are shoes? I never had shoes, you know. I used to have to cut off the soles of my feet when they got too worn, so new skin would grow.
Lad, you consider yourself lucky. I didn't even have feet. I just ran on stumps.
Stumps? That's ridiculous.
You consider yourself lucky. I didn't even have stumps. I only had up to here.
Well, what about food? Did you get any food when you were young?
I got an occasional ration, occasional bit of bacon, but nothing more than that.
Occasional ration? That's out. I used to have to go out and hunt for my food. Local cats and dogs weren't safe. We had to eat what we found.
I never even got any time to eat. I hadn't even finished training before I had to start again.
What? So you had to go to bed after you'd got up?
Exactly, and go down the pit in between.
Luxury. Luxury. I used to have to clean gravel off the road before I could go and run on it.
Well, at least you didn't have to eat it as well.
I did. That were a dessert.
Oh, what do you have for main course then?
Main course, bit of wood, and any loose droppings I could find in the gutter.
That's nothing anyway, because I used to go swimming in a canal and it was completely frozen.
Frozen?
Completely frozen.
I used to have to slide on the top when it were frozen. There were no getting in to swim, that were warm.
There's no top to slide on when I was a nipper. I used to have to just swim through the wood, swim through the mud.
Now you're getting ridiculous now, because people will be thinking that life was hard in Yorkshire, but it's not, is it really?
No, it's quite nice really. It's harder down south really.
Yeah, all those cars.
Cars.
This is about the most grass I've seen all week here in London.
I know, East London. It's hard life down here.
But where I live, you can walk out, it's miles and miles of grass, hills, sheep.
And mills as well. I think mills as
yeah. Maidens roaming the countryside, singing in harmony with brass bands.
They do. It's lovely. Spring water. Ferrets everywhere.
Yeah, ferrets. Yeah. Well, I think we should stop selling Yorkshire because too many people want to come up.
Yeah, we don't want to give it away.
Anyway, seriously, you've had what is it now? You've had a month or so off since Beijing.
Yeah, so we raced Beijing, and then the week after that we had to race in the last French Grand Prix, but we didn't really do a lot of training. And then we had 2 weeks completely off after that, a bit of a holiday, we're just forgetting it, enjoying ourselves. And then I think was it 3 weeks after that? We had 3 weeks of doing something pretty much every day, and then we're kind of coming to the end of that period now, and then hopefully we can get back on with training again.
I saw some of your mates out in Hawaii. Tim Don, Jan Frodeno and Javier were all out there with Specialized. Quite funny really, because nobody recognised them. No, they were there, and they did this Specialized launch for the new bike. And I was stood there with this guy, and he said, "Oh, I recognise Macca there, and that girl, but who are those three guys at the end?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's the Olympic champion. He's ex-world champion, and he was world champion." Oh, what are they doing here? It's amazing the difference in profile between ITU racing and WTC racing in America. It's completely the other way around.
Yeah, we've never really experienced that because obviously we're in kind of a bit of an ITU bubble really. We don't do any non-drafting, so we've never really experienced it. But yeah, people do say that. You know, America drafting racing is kind of, I don't know, it's Satan really. It's something completely different. It's a different sport, but yeah, kind of appreciate different sports, don't you? Haven't they not got a new TS? There's
Series race out there in San Diego next year.
Oh yeah, World Championship Series in San Diego. It's the second race of the year after Sydney. It's about the end of April, and yeah, that one should be really good. The information's already up about on the internet now, and the course looks really good. There's a big age group race there. and hopefully it'll make kind of drafting racing bigger in America. But it should be a really, really good race.
Would that be in your schedule, do you think, or would you miss it out?
I've not decided my schedule yet, but I'm pretty sure that I won't race in Sydney at the start of the year, and I probably will start with San Diego at the end of April, and we're probably going out to America for trains for a couple of weeks before that to get used to the heat. And get used to being in America, get used to the big portions and things. But yeah, we definitely probably will to San Diego.
What about you, Alistair? You'd be there as well?
Yeah, probably similar. I definitely went to Sydney, and then see how the winter training goes. I tend to have winters with a few hiccups along the way, so we'll see how that goes first, and then I'll make a decision.
So you guys are already penciled in for the Olympic team next year, is that right?
Yeah, well, we made the selection criteria, and we're kind of being selected by British triathlon selectors, if you like. But you're not fully selected till you're nominated to the BOA, and that doesn't happen until June.
Right, so with you having already been selected by British Triathlon, how will your preparation for next year differ from the person who thinks they might get third place? Because there's probably still a few people that could get that, so yeah, they've got some other races to do where they can qualify.
Yeah, so for us it's all about that one race in August, and not much else matters, and we have to be fit for that one race. But if you have to qualify for the Olympics next year, you have to be fit. I think it's probably going to look like, you have to be right up there in the first 2 or 3 World Series races in a year, which are San Diego, Sydney and Madrid. So obviously, you probably want to go out and race all 3 of those, in the hope that at least 2 of them are going to be good. So that means starting racing well in early April, so it means you're going to have to have a good early February, March, and then even through to Madrid, which is in late May. So it'll be quite tough, and then come down and then pick the Olympics as well.
Yeah. So, and Johnny, you've had this has almost been like a breakthrough season. You were runner-up in the World Series. You didn't quite, did you win a race?
Did I win a race? Come on. That's what yours says. Yeah, I won 1.
Yeah, but
and a half.
So this was your breakthrough season,
yeah.
Really. Did you, this time last year, did you think that 2011 could be the season where you broke through, or did you think it might come a bit later?
I didn't think I was going to be consistent as I was this year. In 2010, I finished 2nd in London, so obviously that's kind of a bit of a breakthrough race for me there. Finished 2nd in Hyde Park. But then coming into the season, I didn't think I was really that consistent. I thought I'd have good races and bad races, but I've been on the podium in every single race that I've done this year, so that's something I'm really, really pleased with. It shows you great consistency. It shows that the races I've done well in here aren't a fluke. So it has been a breakthrough year really. But I had a great winter, had a very, very lucky winter, and I kind of respect that. I just had no injury. I had 2 days ill all winter, and just could train perfectly really. So I just want to have the same again this year.
So it's interesting you mention that. It comes up quite a lot, and I still think that a lot of particularly age group triathletes don't give as much respect to this particular thing that we're going to talk about now, which is consistency. But I know that you and Alistair think that it's probably the most important thing in your training.
Yeah, Alistair and I have talked about it a bit, and we do think consistency is absolutely vital. And you hear about people who do a 40-hour week and then a 15-hour week, and that's, it's well done for doing a 40-hour week. But what you should really be doing is aiming for 35 hours a week every single week. It is all about just doing the same thing most weeks, maybe periodising it a little bit by having maybe 3 weeks really hard and then 1 week a little bit easier. But the main thing is just same thing, keep on doing it, because that's how you improve really. You don't improve by having 1 short week and then an easy week and then another big week. It's just doing the same thing that's going to make you improve. Another thing is consistency, is it helps you perform well over the season. Instead of maybe doing loads of training early this season and then doing nothing, if throughout the season you can keep consistent, it means by the end of the season, we race from kind of April till September time, so it means by being consistent we can keep on going and still be fit in September.
It's interesting you talk there about doing 35 hours a week, okay, because most people think that sort of training volume is only what Ironman athletes will be doing. We just talked about Hawaii there. If you're doing 35 to 40 hours a week and that's what the Ironman guys are doing, do you think you could step into that sort of distance easily, or would you have to do a lot of different stuff?
I'd like to think so. It's only a job, isn't it? Yeah, I think we both love to do it at some point, and there's actually not a lot more training we could do.
What would you have to change then about what you do now?
I think you'd probably not look at changing a massive amount actually. I think we'd probably look at spending time on our time trial bikes in the position specifically, doing you know, periods of time at that kind of tempo, because we don't have any of that in our kind of training. We either tend to be going pretty easy or absolutely very hard. And similarly running, probably doing some kind of, you know, middle pace kind of stuff, maybe off the bike, because again in our training we do none of that whatsoever. We tend to run slow or very fast. So yeah, probably just filling the gaps, but I'd like to still think I could keep the really high end intensity there, you know, because at the end of the day, if you can run 66-second laps easily, you know, you can run 76-second laps very easily.
I think I remember Macca saying when he went from, you know, the ITU style of racing, even which was only just started the drafting stuff when he changed to Ironman, was he couldn't believe how slow the marathon was. You know, the fastest Ironman marathon's 2 hours 40, which is a 6-minute mile. He's used to running a lot quicker than that, and he thought he was running too slowly, and so he pulled out a few times. And his epiphany came when he realised actually he wasn't running slowly, he was running faster than everybody else. It just felt slow.
Yeah, definitely.
But
it's completely different, really, isn't it? You know, we go for running 10k where we run as fast as we can, you know, most of the way. So doing a race, you have to pace yourself. It is, you know, very, very different, and it must take a bit of time to get used to, really.
I mean, in Hawaii this year we had 3 women representing Great Britain in the top 4. You know, Chrissy, Leander Cave, and Rachel Joyce. And I was at the press conference and I asked Chrissy how it felt, and the other girls, you know, to see such results coming from British triathletes. And she mentioned you two, she mentioned Helen Jenkins. How do you feel about being at the vanguard of British performance when you see all these other results?
Well, I'm really proud to be part of, you know, what Britain are achieving. But at the end of the day, kind of sport is very selfish, really. Kind of, if you think about your own race, and you know, I can only really affect my own race. But when we go to races, ITU races, anything we can really talk about. When we go to ITU races and Helen's doing well, and normally the girls' races the day before our race, it is really, really good to see. It gives us all confidence. It takes a little bit of pressure off us as well, and it's really, really nice to see Helen do well. And then Chrissy, you know, in Ironman we always shout for the British people, just because they are British. So it's good to see, but you know, what we do can't really affect what they do.
No, but yeah, do you feel like some of your influence has rubbed off on them a little?
It's fantastic to see. The whole of British triathlon doing well is fantastic to see, but it's great to see kind of what we've built in Leeds and what's progressed. You know, you've seen it progress over the years as well, from, you know, Jack standing on the side of the pool with 2 of us swing up and down a lane to squads of 2 lanes full and, like, you know, 15 of us in the lanes now. So that's great. And then it's great to see, you know, people are actually attracted to come to Leeds because they go, oh wow, look, you know, they've got a good setup there, and, you know, we're part of that as well. And with Jack and Malcolm we've worked, and yeah, it's great to see that people are appreciating it.
Yeah, so anyway, listen guys, the sun's setting on this what looks like a summer's day, but is actually November the 1st. And for those of you who've watched the whole of this and seen our little spoof about Yorkshire, yeah, well done for staying awake. But we just do want to say, don't we, lads, that Yorkshire is really the centre of the triathlon universe. But don't be thinking that you're disadvantaged if you come from anywhere else in Britain. Thanks for watching, and
see you later.
Yep, see you again guys, thank you.